Hi, I'm JJ. Welcome or welcome back. Well, I have been sick the last probably almost week, so I haven't read as much as I normally would want to, but I did make sure that I took time to read the books that I just was gifted by Angelina over at Do Things to Me. And these are some of the books that she sent me from Slovenia. So I wanted to share the books with you and my thoughts on the books. So the first one is called The Waterman. And this is, two of these are based on poems by Franz Przerin. And so this one is about, the town of Ljubljana. And so these were the postcards that she sent me, so that I could, understand and see the city a bit. I know that I showed them when I did my opening, but it's, I have them here, so I'll show them again. I'm sorry for all the noises. My cats are very active today. And these are all from the same city. And so this is basically a story about, featured in this city, or kind of the mythology of this city. But there's this stuck-up woman who doesn't want to dance with anyone else at the dance, and then she gets drawn to this man and dances with him, and then they essentially disappear. And he's like a water monster type of thing, or at least with the images, he becomes such. But the poem is more so about her and her, I guess, her selfishness and her, thinking that she's better than all the other guys there, and how then she chooses this one guy that she's drawn to, and I guess you can read it as she chose to go with him, and chose to have this life with him, or if you didn't have the art with it. It also kind of reads almost like a fairy tale, in that she sort of gets what's coming to her. She, rejects every other guy, and then gets taken by the guy that she deems worthy enough. So I guess depending on how you choose to read it. But the art was fun. And it was a cute story. Not cute, I guess, because of what happens, but a interesting story. The next one is by the same poet, and this is A Toast. And this part was really fascinating. So she did send me some more, and I know that I already showed these, but I just really do enjoy postcards. So that one's really pretty, and so are these next two. I really like that one. And then this one actually looks like so much out west here in the mountains. It's interesting how they're not all that different. What was fascinating about this book is within his poem, toasting what it's like to be Slovenian, their culture, basically a celebration of who they are. It's also, there's a stanza in here used, according to Angelina, as the national anthem for their country. which I found fascinating. But what was also really fun is as you're going through story, the poem, you're seeing all these different pictures and stuff, and the art's really cool and interesting. But then when you get to the end, it actually points out how each person represented here in art, it is a huge influence on society. So there's one who was the first author to print a book in Slovene, a Slovene aviator pioneer, a ski jumper, a poet, rocket engineer and astrophysics pioneer, an architect, the writer of the first editor of a children's book, international film star, a general and a poet, a fencer. He was the first Slovene to win silver medal in the Stockholm 1912 Olympics. There was a missionary and author of the first American Indian grammar, a polymath, author, and globetrotter and writer, and then a diplomat and historian who introduced the Europeans to Russia. So you're just, thinking that they're just pictures of, just different pictures within the book, but then you get to find out all this richer history within it. So I find it utterly fascinating. And the poem is good as well. And so I'll just read this one because I believe this one is the one that was the based on the, I could be wrong, but I think it's the one that's based on their national anthem. God's blessings on all nations who long and work for that bright day when o'er earth's habitations no war, no strife shall hold its sway, who long to see that all men are free, no more shall foes but neighbors be. That is a much better reason and beauty for a national anthem. Ours is written during the War of 1812, and is written by a huge racist person who fought so hard to keep slavery entrenched in the United States. So that is our national anthem in our history. This one was much better and much more hopeful. So I guess that says a lot about different nations there. And then the last book is A Cup of Coffee, and Ivan Kankar and Peter Skrill, and they at least two of them, the one about the waterman and this one also are written dual language. So there's the Slovenian stanzas, and then there's the American or the English version, not American, English. But I really found this one thoughtful. And so this one is about a guy who is dwelling on how he mistreated his mother, and just a small moment where he could have been kind, but instead he treated her with disrespect and was mean to her. And he never apologized. They never discussed it. As the mother, she just, let it go. But it dimmed her light, and you could tell that it deeply affected her. And then now he's still dwelling on it all these years later. And it had to do with her being thoughtful enough just by not having much, bringing him a cup of coffee, and him basically being awful to her about it. And so ending with a coffee stain as the reminder to think about how you treat people, and how bad feelings and bad thoughts, they might not be crimes, they might not be horrible in the grand scheme of things, they might not even be considered sins if you're religious, but they still take a huge toll on your soul if you regret a lot of these experiences, and should just, be better towards people. So like it starts out with, I have done many wrongs in my life unto those I loved. And then I liked how it actually talked about the difference between sins and crimes, and what, like what it does on the soul. And the art is like very minimal. It's also very, kind of dark. And it's interesting because it still has this haunting element to it about, the tarnish on our souls by mistreating the people that we love, and rather than begging for that forgiveness, better than trying to make things right, you just move on, and it just keeps weighing you down, and it keeps affecting the person that you hurt in different ways. Just like I could see her from the waist up. She did not stir when my words reached her. Oh wait, I wanted to get to the part where she came up, and he describes her as like lovely, and the light of heaven shivered therein, the grace and the love of heaven. A smile hovered on her lips, the smile of a child bearing a wonderful gift. And then as soon as he said something mean to her, it's he apologized, or didn't apologize, but he basically didn't want the cup that he asked for, and then he says, oh wait, never mind, give it to me. But it was too late. The light had vanished from her eyes. The smile died on her lips. I drank the coffee, consoling myself. So just the visualness of seeing how she was so delightful, being able to give her son what he asked for, even though she had very little to give. And she was so proud of herself that she found the stuff to make the coffee so that she could give it to him. And then his reaction, and then her reaction to that, it really is heartbreaking, that something so small that we might not realize that we do in everyday life, and the effect that it could have on the people around us, just by being too short with them, by not acknowledging their kindness, by not being grateful for them when they do kind things to us, and yeah, this one will stick with me. I really am grateful to you, Angelina, for sending the whole package, but this book really did matter. I can see why it was a favorite of yours, and I'm so grateful for you for sharing it with me. But anyway, these were the 3 books. Don't worry, I have been trying to figure out what to send you. I have some ideas, and I'm still working on others, but in the essence of not letting it go, when someone does a kindness, once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you.